I would like to introduce our next session with Baunacher from Webasto Thermo and Comfort. This presentation, successful electrification of highway machinery with plug-and-play battery solutions. Before we starting, a small introduction, a small video from Webasto site.
They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. We know that the future never stops, moving so fast, even mobility itself can't keep up. This is to the trailblazers, the ones who not only shift gears, but perspectives. The few who are ready to own the future right now and inspire a better tomorrow. Together with you, we want to be the change we want to see. For us, e-mobility is more than just a trend. Sustainability, more than just a buzzword. We know that these are the solution. This is why we didn't wait but make a leap. With our future-proof battery systems, we're going to ensure the mobility of the future. Engineered to perform and last in our high-quality testing and production facilities. Whatever the future brings, we're going to be one step ahead, as it is embedded in our automotive DNA for more than 90 years. We create future-proof mobility for everybody, today and tomorrow.
Great video from Webasto, thank you. So, Kai, you have a floor, please start.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to welcome the audience watching online. Of course, my name is Baunacher. I'm product manager for battery services here at Webasto. And today I would like to give you a short overview of what we actually do in terms of batteries and also talk about successful electrification with plug-and-play battery solutions from Webasto actually. So let us start here by just briefly introducing Webasto. First of all, a little bit. So Webasto is already existing over 120 years, and we are one of the top 100 automotive suppliers in the world. We have more than 14,000 employees within 50 different locations worldwide. And till today, we are a family-owned company. And since 2017, Webasto decided to really go more into the sector of e-mobility, especially with charging, but also battery solutions. So let us next have a closer look into actually the product portfolio from Webasto. So on the really left-hand side, you can see that Webasto provides roof systems. So for example, convertibles or panorama roofs. Then in the middle, you can see the heating and cooling segment. And actually in those segments, Webasto is proud to be the market leader worldwide. And on the really right-hand side, you can see what we also are all about since 2017, and that's our solutions for electromobility. And here we actually provide an electric heating system, our 𝐓𝐞𝐄, which you can see on the right-hand side on the top. And the middle of the solutions for electromobility, you can see our wall boxes. So actually wall boxes for passenger vehicles. So for the end users, as we are here also listening today. And last but not least, and that's where we would like to set the focus today, we provide battery solutions for large OEMs in the passenger vehicle sector, but also for the off-highway machinery industry with our standardized battery. So let us have a closer look about the strategy in terms of battery from Webasto. And Webasto is following a two-pillar strategy here. That means that on the one hand side, we provide individualized battery systems, so really customized for large OEMs with high quantities. But on the other side, Webasto also decided to provide a standardized battery system for all other segments out there. Let me briefly talk a little bit about our individualized battery solution, just to give you a short impression of what experience we have gained so far before coming to the standardized battery, where we will set the focus today. So to start off, to give you an impression, we always like to show some of our recent projects we have, and here's a small sample of various projects we have successfully in operation at the moment. So for example, we are the battery supplier for European bus manufacturer, but also we are the battery supplier for a Chinese, a South Korean, and also a German car manufacturer, which will start in a couple of years in production, or have already been starting. Here's just can see a short overview about the project types, the quantities, just to give you an impression that we already gained some experience and already have some projects here going on. Go further going into the topic, just showing you what kind of projects we offer to our customers here. We do basically everything except the cells. So we deliver build-to-print projects, for example, but also we really do the full development of the whole battery pack, the module, for example, just engineering, the housing, the testing. So it just depends on what our customers are actually asking for. And that gives plenty of cooperation potential for our customers in the individualized segment. To give you also an overview where we are operating at the moment with batteries, this is a worldwide overview. You can see the blue marked countries and regions. This is where Webasto is located, so as already mentioned, worldwide. And also you can see where we have more specific knowledge within the countries and regions of the world in terms of batteries. And to give you a little bit of insights, I would like to point out two locations for today. For example, here, our production facility in Daejeon, South Korea, which is linked to the South Korean car manufacturer project. This plant was newly built up actually just a couple of months ago and will start production this year. This facility is meant to produce up to around about 100,000 battery packs a year, and just shows the great potential we already have here with batteries in South Korea, for example. Another location we would like to show you now is also our production facility here in Schierling. So that's in Germany, actually, where we have a multi-product line capable of producing 40,000 units a year. Multi-product means that we are capable of switching between different battery systems just on one production line. That means, for example, here we also produce the batteries for the European bus manufacturer, as well as our own standardized battery system. After showing you now a little bit about what we do in terms of individualized and customized battery solutions, let's now dig into zero-emission off-highway machinery. And to start off here, let's first of all ask the question, why should actually off-highway machinery go zero-emission or CO2 friendly? I mean, we found out a couple of obvious reasons, in our opinion, and that, first of all, is, for example, the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, of course, as well as no direct air pollution or less noise pollution. But next to that, of course, there's also other reasons like low running costs if you look at the application over time. And that's actually where a lot of our customers are already surprised. Because you have to do less maintenance throughout the years if you look at over the lifetime of the vehicle. But of course, there's also other reasons, and I would like to just point out a couple of them. There are, of course, many more, but let's just have a look here, for example, at one. So the heavy-duty vehicles, so vehicles above 12 tons, currently account for 6% of the CO2 emission in the European Union, as an example. And also due to that, and because of the sustainability trend going on at the moment and the really need to do something here, the EU actually announced a EU regulation which quotes that we need to reduce the emissions in that sector by 15% until 2025 and actually 30% until 2030. So as we can see already, there's already rules going on. There's already regulations being implemented in the systems of different countries and regions of the world, just showing that there is a need and there is a must to electrify now the applications and machinery. We also brought two examples of different industry. The first one is actually from the construction industry, where the construction industry alone is responsible for more than 23% of the global greenhouse gas emissions. And out of that, there was created an organization, the C40, which initially were 40 cities. Nowadays, I think it's 95 cities actually, who require a zero-emission contribution to have zero emission construction sites within 2025 and completely until 2030. So that already shows that it's not only about countries who make rules, it's also about initiatives coming up in the different industry. Another one is, for example, in the ground support equipment industry here, especially for airports, where, for example, the airport in Munich announced to go fully electric by 2030. So that means that also the ground support vehicles and application need to be CO2 friendly in order to reach that goal. And the ultimate statement we make here is basically, and what we see from our customers are various from different industries, is that zero emission machinery is increasingly becoming a requirement by tenders, especially in Europe today, but also in other regions of the world, and also for different industries. So it's not only a topic of the construction industry or ground support or mining or whatsoever. It's a general topic off-highway machinery companies have to cope with today and really take action. So furthermore, what we also identified is that the latest industry updates actually show a clear path towards accelerated electrification with batteries as a main energy storage. And let me show you why. Because, for example, there were actually statements made by huge companies the last couple of weeks and months. For example, I brought you here two examples from Daimler, the first one, which said we're going from electric first to electric only. And I think that is a really strong statement already. Another example I would like to give you is from the Traton Group, which actually made a task together with Fraunhofer Institution, where they analyzed the battery truck compared to a hydrogen truck. And they actually found out that the battery truck had advantages over the hydrogen truck. Of course, those are just examples, but already show a trend. And we can actually go a step further and kind of explain why this seems to be the trend also in the industries, is because if you look at the wheel-to-wheel approach for different technologies going CO2 emission friendly, for example, we have the battery electric vehicles, where we can see that the total utilization rate compared to other technologies is actually better compared to hydrogen or, for example, synthetic fuels. Also, what we have to keep in mind is, of course, that batteries are available today, and prices for battery will go down in the next decades because of the high volumes in the passenger vehicle segments. Parts will be more available, especially in the high voltage segment, and of course, there will be a continuous improvement, but they're already there. So we as well see a clear trend towards electrification of off-highway machines for several reasons, which we just mentioned, and it will be for us also the dominant technology. So if we look at that now, at that fact, in regards to that, we see that a lot of our customers are all looking at the same KPIs and certain criteria. Of course, there's some differences in the industries, but the core criteria are the same. So for example, they ask for size, voltage, safety is of course a must in every industry, certifications, lifetime, and so on and so forth, also price per kilowatt hours. And that is also the reason, or those are the reasons basically, why Webasto has decided also to basically create a standardized battery system, especially for off-highway machinery sectors. And this is in full developed and engineered by Webasto, except the cells, where we have a strategic cooperation with Samsung SDI. But everything else besides that is engineered and developed by Webasto. So let's have a short closer look on the battery system itself first. So what we can see here is that the battery pack has 35 kilowatt hours. And we have prismatic NMC cells in there, as already mentioned from Samsung SDI. It's a 2-layer, means that we have 8 modules on the top layer and 8 modules on the lower layer. And the really crucial thing about that system, what Webasto thought of, is it is a plug-and-play solution. That means that you can either use just one battery system as a standalone system for your application, but you can also connect up to 10 battery packs, depends of what you need as a customer to reach the power you need. So what you can see on the right-hand side is, if you look at the light commercial vehicle as an example, it might be enough to connect 3 batteries with each other over our vehicle interface box, which is basically the BMC of the battery, then the control, the brain of the system, let's call it that way. Which also our vehicle VIB also has integrated an ISO monitor to see if there's moisture in the VIB, to switch off the battery if there is moisture, to just be on the safe side. It also has an EMC filter and an HVLV circuit to manage up to 10 battery packs. And this really gives the flexibility to our customers. It depends on their application to electrify with our plug-and-play battery solution. And also, if you look at the battery as a product from Webasto, what are actually the advantages our customers have with the system? So I think modularity is clear. We already explained that, but there are several other reasons. For example, the total cost of ownership means that we are able to produce a high volumes in OEM automotive quality, since this is our DNA since 120 years already. The time to market is really short because the system is there and our customers are already using it and it's available. It's really robust, especially in the construction industry and off-highway. That's important. So we designed the battery so that our customers do not really have to do a lot of tests anymore. But we will get to that point in a second. And also, what our customers profit out is that we have the knowledge transfer also from our individualized and customized project, where we can transfer into our standardized battery projects, just to use this knowledge. So I already told you the robustness is really important for Webasto. So that is why we also developed the CV standard, so the commercial vehicle standard battery, according to the highest requirements and standards. And here just some of them to mention, so that our customers at the end do not have to pay for really expensive tests anymore and can use it right away. So it's a really safe system as itself. Also, what we are looking at is a long-term partnership with our customers. So that we prove with already the development of our next generation. So we want to be a trusted partner, not only for today, but also for tomorrow. And that is why we're already investigating and to develop the next generation. It will have a higher energy content. It will have the same dimensions as the generation 1. So to make sure that all our customers who already implemented the generation 1 can implement the next generation without any problems due to the space. So that just gives the proof to our customers and also to potential customers that we want to be a long-time partner and not only deliver the products only today. So let us have a look now at a couple of projects we did recently, or we have going. And this is just a small sample, which are publicly known today. And as you can already see, it's a lot of different segments. So we have the public transportation as an example with Lord and 𝐏𝐞𝐞. Actually, when you visited the IAA last year, you were able to drive with one of the buses of 𝐏𝐞𝐞, which is electrified by Webasto. We have a 𝐓𝐞𝐬𝐞𝐫, which is a specialized vehicle. And or we also have the ground support industry here with the company Goldhofer, mining industry with 𝐓𝐞𝐫, and construction side with 𝐓𝐞𝐷. So this just should give you an impression of what projects are currently going on. As already mentioned, a small sample here, and that we really gain knowledge from different industries, and that really helps us to give the best advice to all of our customers. So let us now have a short look on one of our projects in greater detail. So this is 𝐓𝐞𝐷, and actually they made a conversion from a classical excavator towards an electrified one. So what they did basically, which you can see on the right-hand side, on the right upper picture, they ripped out the engine and changed it into interchargeable battery carriers. And this interchargeable battery carriers consists out of 4 batteries of Webasto connected to the VIB, so the brain of the system, and also an HVH is included for the cabin. So what you can already see here is that we try to be a solution provider. The system was built to work for 8 hours as an 800-volt system within 2S2P system. So I already said it, Webasto is not only about delivering just one product, it's more likely to deliver the solutions. So what you can see here is what we built around our battery system here. We already explained the vehicle interface box, which is the VIB with a lot of functions. Next to that, on the right-hand side, you can see the vehicle interface gateway, the VIG, which is basically a smaller version of the VIB, just having the function as BMC. So some of our customers say it's enough for us just having the BMC connecting the batteries with each other, and this is a smaller version for them upon their request. We also offer to install an integrated thermal management, which will increase the performance a lot. We also have a plug-and-play solution, the electric battery thermal management system. So this is an already off-the-shelf product which can be connected to our batteries for active cooling and heating. We have on the right upper corner our heating system, our electric one, the HVH, which was already introduced. And on the left bottom side, we have our data monitoring device, which is big as a smartphone, which can collect data from the battery. And with that data, we can actually offer services. And that brings me to the next point, I think, where we really set a gold standard, is that we see ourselves with all of our customers, independent of size and maturity, as a partner. And that is why we've identified basically 3 phases of an electrification project of all of our customers. And that's the planning phase, the project phase, and the end of life phase. And throughout the different phases, Webasto decided to offer different services to the customers. So really take the customer by hand and basically go the journey of electrification together. So just to give you an example, what we also did with all the projects which we just showed earlier, we did a simulation. That means that we really sat together with the customer, tried to understand their application in more greater detail to define what would be the best fit for their application to electrify. During the project phase, that means when they build up the first pilot until they go into serial phase, we also offer an on-site support or technical support or technical trainings, as well as, for example, a guarantee on our batteries. And last but not least, we have the end of life phase, which is also becoming more important to our customers with the topic recycling and second life. And just giving you here an example, what we do ourselves as Webasto is we look into those topics as well. So for example, that is why we've analyzed our CO2 footprint internally already. We moved our production facility in Schierling to CO2 neutral since 2021. And we work close together with all our suppliers, making sure that they follow the whole value chain and become more sustainable as well, and just to create transparency to our customers as well. Last year, we built a photovoltaic system off the roof of our plant in Schierling, which I showed earlier. And this year, we will actually connect it to our energy storage system, which is out of old batteries, which returned from tests, so which we cannot sell to customers anymore or use for customer application, but really to try out how our batteries fit for second life usage as well. And with that being said, I think I'm through with a brief overview of Webasto. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, I think we have a little bit of time left. I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you very much for this presentation. Actually, we have a question from Young. When will the next generation be released?
Yeah. So we're currently working on the next generation, and the plan is to release it in 2024, so not too long anymore.
Great. Maybe something to add. Next question: What are the main differences between an individualized and an standardized battery solution?
Mm-hmm. So basically, as shown in the beginning, the difference is really that an individualized battery solution is really a customized one. So meaning for large quantities, when we have really a lot of batteries need to produce, then we can talk to our customers, really identify the perfect solution for them. And then on the other side, however, we have the standardized battery, which is for smaller OEMs who cannot afford or do not want to afford an own engineering of an own battery system, because that's also time costly. And what we see is, especially in the off-highway machinery, that our customers do not have the time to develop really an own system. So we provide here an high quality product, which is already fully developed, tested by Webasto. And I think that's the main difference here. Yeah.
Next question from Lenhard. What are your experiences in thermal runaway detection?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So let me actually share a slide to that one. So I will go out the presentation here, and we'll open this one here to give you a little bit more insight about the safety measurements we do within our battery. So for example, for thermal runaway, what we do, we have a venting and overpressure part installed. So that allows us for degassing if there would be a thermal runaway. And also for pressure equalization. What we also do have is a CO2 detection device within our battery, which we can really see, okay, is there something going on? Do we have to switch off the batteries? Because safety for Webasto is a must-have and is one of our top priorities. So that is why we've installed everything, making sure that there will be no thermal runaway. But in the case that, and we have not made any experience here with thermal runaway so far with our customers, we have every safety measure installed, basically what is needed.
Excellent. Next question from Sai. Are there any opportunities in the field of e-mobility and charging infrastructure for students at Webasto?
Thank you very much for the question. I'm happy that you're asking for this. Yes, of course, we have opportunities. We actually have on our website a lot of open positions at the moment, also for students. We're always looking for passionate students who would like to dig into that topic a little bit more. And I'm sure that we can provide the link to those to these different positions later on in the chat function. Thank you for the question.
Good. Maybe is it possible to contact you directly through the?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, that is of course always an option as well. Thank you.
Great. Next question from Martin. Does Webasto plan to offer any service level agreement for its batteries and all services?
Yeah. So basically, as already showed at the pretty much end of the presentation, we already have some services in place, and I will quickly just open them again. But of course, at the moment, we also looking into more services which we can offer, and especially what we like to mention here is partnerships. So at the moment, we also talk to different industries. For example, in the construction industries, not only with our customers, but actually with the end users. So we have kind of round tables here to identify really the needs of our end users and our customers, to then define further services which we will put on top to the already existing ones. And then one more comment on that. For example, if we look at the passenger vehicle development over the last couple of years, and that's the advantage we have because we're so close with the automotive industry, is that we see that topics like vehicle to grid is also a topic coming up, and that will be at the later stage, of course, but also coming up for off-highway machinery, and there's also a potential for extension our service portfolio, of course.
Great. Next question from Jay. Is charging time different for individualized and standard battery systems?
Yes, it is, because it's always different batteries. So for example, one of the individualized project which we can name today, and that's the project in South Korea, is 𝐏𝐞𝐬𝐞, so Hyundai Kia Motors, and we've developed an own battery for them, and we will also produce it for them. And of course, that is different to the battery we provide with our CV standard. So it's just completely two different battery packs. So it's not really that you can compare them in terms of charging directly.
Continued question from Lenhard. What can be expected regarding field data monitoring?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. So what we're looking at today is, for example, that we can, with the data we have from the battery, we can offer pre-maintenance jobs. So meaning that when we see specific events happening, we could inform the customer upfront. There's also potential that you have a flexible guarantee, for example, it depends on how you use the battery. So we could use this data. We could provide dashboards to the customer so that they can check on batteries as well. If we link it to Second Life, for example, there's the option that you could identify a time when you take out the battery off a mobile machinery and put it into, for example, a Second Life storage. And there's multiple ways actually going digital here. I think the field is not really investigated to the end yet.
Great, thank you, Kai. So I think in case of any other questions, you can contact Kai directly through the platform Hopin or LinkedIn. We expected Kai to be on the main event, so you will be able to speak with Kai personally, discuss some questions, share your experience, maybe ask some questions, additional questions. So thank you very much, Kai.
Thank you very much too. And as already mentioned, if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to contact me directly. Looking forward to the event in Berlin. And until then, have a great time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kai.